I'm gonna give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. I didn't get the same indestructible vibe Zack Snyder's Superman gave us, but he is still a formidable character. I like him. He is a more humanized version of Superman. Don't listen to the haters though. The movie is still good enough to watch it on the big screen. Now let's break it down in the simplest language possible before you decide to hit the theater hall. And hey, spoilers ahead, so be careful. 3 decades ago, an extraterrestrial baby was sent to planet Earth on a spaceship who later was adopted by a farmer family of Kansas. He is Superman, the most powerful metahuman of all. 3 weeks ago, he stopped a country of Borovia from invading a region named Jarhanpur. He has been recently attacked by another metahuman they call the Hammer of Borovia. This is Krypto, the one and only superdog of Superman. Krypto drags him by the costume and brings him to his secret den, which is an underground ice castle. He has run out of juice and now he needs sunlight therapy to revive himself. He still has the final messages from his mom and dad from the planet Krypton. This is Angela, a nanotech engineer. She has been looking for Superman by following the trace of his blood. He starts walking away when he was revived only 83%. He must have to save the people of Jarhanpur. He keeps his dog in the castle and flies away. He must have to protect the civilians before the city gets invaded again. The Hammers of Borovia have already started ravaging the city. This is Lex Luthor. He is the one orchestrating everything from behind. This is Eve, Luthor's new girlfriend. She is a social media influencer. Superman gets slammed onto the ground. Angela, in the meanwhile, has found out the ice castle of Superman. Mr. Malik Ali, a local fan of Superman, runs down to help him. The Hammerman lands on Luthor's army base and walks into a portal to get back into the HQ. He basically runs a private military company of super soldiers in metropolis cities semi-invaded by Borovia. Superman works a normal desk job at a renowned news agency. This is Lois Lane, the on and off girlfriend of Superman. While they were gossiping, they hear a news where the president of Borovia was claiming that the recent attack on Metropolis was not done by his military. In the meanwhile, Luthor was showcasing his super soldiers to the officers of Borovia to hire him for a full-scale invasion as well as capture Superman, as he is considered to be a planet-level threat to the humanity. The Borovia officials are not willing to gamble their national reserve for another warfare against Superman without the guarantee of winning. General Flag says that they have already wasted $80 billion on Lex Luthor's military to invade Borovia and their plans didn't end well. They are not willing to invest anymore. Lois comes home and finds out Superman is cooking breakfast for Lois during dinner, like what the hell. Next morning, Luthor goes to Antarctica where the ice castle of Superman is hidden. As soon as they go near the castle, the hidden door rises from the underground. How he managed to get access to the door is a huge secret which you can get to know by the end of the movie. They ambush the place and break all the sentries of Superman. They capture the dog as well using nanobots. Luthor takes all the information from the data center, including all the messages from the representatives of Krypton. On the other hand, the men of Luthor have unleashed a mutant alien into Metropolis so that they can create fear among the civilians about aliens. It's all just part of his propaganda that all kinds of aliens are harmful to our planet, including even Superman. The next morning, the mutant has grown to the size of a skyscraper. Superman comes to protect the city. He blows away a local dog to save it from getting crushed. He breaks out of the ground and starts beating the shit out of the thing. He saves the civilian from getting crushed. And there goes the entry of Team Justice that includes Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific. It doesn't take them more than a minute to neutralize the threat. Anyways, why does this hottie look like Sabrina Carpenter? Back to the story, Lex Luthor has created a narrative on the television claiming that the sole purpose of Superman is to rule the world. He shows a cryptic message from the representatives of the planet Krypton with a manipulated translation to claim that Superman was instructed to rule over humanity. He is now feeling devastated by the outrage of people. Justice Team is also now finding it hard to trust Superman. He flies to his ice castle only to end up realizing that everything has been damaged and yes, his dog has been missing. It's still a mystery to Superman on how they managed to enter his castle without his DNA information. He flies into Luthor's HQ and asks where the hell his dog has been. Anyways, you can get to see an interview on the television of this invisible man. I guess you get the meme, right? Next morning, Superman gets arrested by the military of Luthor. They take him to Luthor's military base. He walks through a portal and gets into a universal space that is situated between two different universal fabrics. This is Element Man. He has the power to take any form just like Mystique, and surprisingly, he can take the form of Kryptonite, a nightmare for Superman. This dude has made his own army of keyboard warriors to do smear campaign against Superman. This universal pocket also also has a secret detention center for different kinds of aliens that Luthor uses from time to time to cause threats to the humans. He is basically giving birth to alien terror and then convincing the world that his super soldiers can save the humanity from external threats. His dog Crypto has also been detained over here. Rex has a baby detained in the same place. Surprisingly, Jimmy, the colleague of Lois, was the ex-boyfriend of Eve who is now in a relationship with Luthor. Jimmy has been trying to get some information out of this girl about Luthor's next plan to help Lois. Lois, on the other hand, has been trying to get help from Team Justice to find out Superman, but Green Lantern is not willing to help Lois. He is still brainwashed by the news that Superman has been sent to this planet to rule over humanity. She gets pissed and walks away from Justice Hall. Mr. Terrific anyways comes forward to help Lois. They take the Justice ride. Inside the aircraft, she abruptly starts talking about her relationship status with Superman, and Terrific annoyingly replies that he is not interested in someone else's emotional or sexual life. In the meanwhile, Mr. Ali, a local dweller from Metropolis, has been captured by Luthor as a form of leverage to find out Superman's origin. Unfortunately, the man dies during the Russian roulette. Mr. Terrific follows the blood tracker information to find out where Superman was taken. When encountered by the super soldiers of Luthor, he beats the shit out of them. To be honest, this dude is more useful than Superman himself. I couldn't say that in the beginning of the video because Warner Bros. Would have given me a copyright strike. But damn, I have begun to like this man's power more than the main character itself. Rex, understanding the fact that he has become a puppet of Luthor, he decides to rebel against it. Superman finally begins to breathe properly. They have found out the portal. Rex creates an artificial sun to empower Superman. He breaks out of his case and rescues the newborn of Rex. He rescues his dog. They start flying to find a way to get out of this place. And again, I would say that this old man, to be honest, seemed more interesting to me than Superman himself. I don't know why I'm not getting over the nostalgia of Henry Cavill's Superman yet. This might be a good movie, but it's not as good as the Henry Cavill version. Never. Anyways, they all eventually reunite. Rex walks away with his baby. The super dog seems to like Lois a lot. Luthor is furious to find out that Superman along with his biggest asset have run away from the detention center. Not being able to handle the insult, Eve decides to share everything about Luthor's evil plans to her ex-boyfriend. But she gets caught red-handed while sending the photos of Luthor's office. Unfortunately, the damage has already been made. Superman has come to his mom's house to take a rest. Lois gets all the selfies of Luthor's office. Eve has been detained. This man is so crazy and sadistic that he has decided to split this planet in half using the universal black hole energy so that Superman feels bound to come out in the open to stop this disaster. He has no idea what's going on. He finally catches a moment of peace with his family. He reveals that he often feels burdened by the power he has, but he can't help risking his life to protect others. His father then says that he has every right to feel broken and he should not feel ashamed for being vulnerable. People are gathering everywhere to seek help from Superman. He doesn't have much time. Civilians are evacuating from Metropolis. Lois talks to her CEO and plans to broadcast the evil plan of Luthor. No shit, these mofos are destroying the entire city just to catch a man who basically groans like a toddler after every fight and wears a red underwear over his costume. Pathetic. Fortunately, Superman has arrived. Terrific and Superman get attacked by Angela and Hammerman. Just like before, Superman was still not using his full potential in the fight. Like what the hell, dude? I'm really missing Henry Cavill's Superman right now. He would have torn them apart in the blink of an eye. The president of Borovia has declared to invade Metropolis. Superman begins flying in the sky. He has a plan and these guys have no idea what it is. After reaching a certain limit, Angela manages to hold him using her nanotech. Superman becomes unconscious. Now they're falling straight to the ground. Angela can't separate herself from Superman and boom. Superman is still alive just like he should be. And there goes the biggest twist. He gets to meet his doppelganger. Luthor has created the doppelganger which worked as the notorious Hammerman to mess with the people of Metropolis. This is how he managed to clone Superman's DNA to enter his ice castle in the beginning of the movie. Dude is getting bashed in the hand of his own Chinese copy and he can't even fight back. WTF. When the military of Borovia were approaching Metropolis, Team Justice finally arrives to defend them. I would say that Green Lantern maybe is more powerful than Superman himself. At this moment, I'm feeling kinda disgusted by this movie. Anyways, Hawkgirl grabs Borovia president, takes him outside and throws him onto the ground. Finally, one satisfying death scene. Superman's Chinese copy is still beating the shit out of him. He whistles for his dog to come help him. At this point, his dog is pretty much more useful than himself. Anyways, Superman finally decides to go all feral. He finally decides to use 10% of his power to take out others. His doppelganger attacks him again. He then sends the man into the black hole. When Luthor was about to run away opening a portal, Superman manages to catch him. His dog turns this man into a mashed potato salad. Mr. Terrific has finally sealed the universe fabric to stop it from tearing apart. Luthor's true color has been exposed all over the internet. Luthor gets arrested, and that is pretty much the end of the story. I really like this more humane version of Superman, but to be honest, when you're rebooting a character, it's much better if you keep the same personality of your rebooted character based on the original one. Still, I would say, giving this movie a 7 out of 10 doesn't hurt. And by the way, this is the hot cousin of Superman. When I saw her for the first time, I thought she was Sydney Sweeney.